Holly Willoughby has pulled out of her appearance at the Pride of Britain Awards, despite original plans to attend, and is said to be on indefinite leave from this morning after the alleged plot to kidnap her. But what has really made her hide in the shadows under 24/7 police guard? The devil is in the details, as the saying goes. Hidden meanings, cryptic clues, and crafty codes are everywhere if one only took the time to look. When you find one, it's a coincidence. When you find more than one, it becomes suspicious, and when you find a lot of them, you know you are onto something. Is the alleged kidnap plot of this morning presenter Holly Willoughby really just a way out? A convenient story concocted to enable her to leave the show? Or could it be the pinnacle of a long and meticulously thought-out master plan to enable many to be free of an evil force? Holly Willoughby recently said she was really happy that her bestie Phillip Schofield reached out to offer support. But could she be happy and relieved that something is all over? Could she and Schofield even be celebrating a victory, the end of a long and complex nightmare? The Pinnacles is the name of the shopping center Kidnap suspect Gavin Plum worked in as a security guard. A pinnacle is a high, pointed piece of rock, the highest culminating point, as of success, power and fame. Gavin Plum, whose name is a near anagram of impugnable, which means open to verbal attack, open to question. Synonyms include debatable, dicey, dubious and hazy. The other two letters, one missing and one spare, combine to spell VE for victory. It was once alleged that ITV calls us tower block traces, not clever enough to see what is before us, yet the clues are there for all to see. Mr. Gavin Plum, the alleged kidnapper, is from Potter's Field. A Potter's Field was originally a space where poor people were buried. Potter's Field is situated in Harlow, the meaning of which is translated as a rock or army hill. The suspect, as openly and deliberately reported by the newspapers, arrived at court wearing a t-shirt, emblazoned with the slogan, "Age to Perfection," the definition of which is something that has been refined over a long period of time and is now perfect. As he stood in the dock at Chelmsford Magistrates Court, it was heard that Plum had made a detailed plan with a US hitman over the internet, and that Plum, who had recently started driving lessons, was part of a network of like-minded individuals. Prosecuting Shafee Begum told the court, in this matter, he's made detailed plans with another to kidnap and murder. He had arranged flights and transfers for these offenses to be carried out. It has since emerged that the police raid on Wednesday night at Gavin Plum's home in Harlow came shortly after the Metropolitan Police had been tipped off about an alleged plot. The time of the raid has also been revealed. One neighbor in Harlow said, "I saw him being led out of his flat in handcuffs last night at about 9 o'clock. Another added, "The police car has been there all day. Earlier on there was a forensics van." Rewind. All day. So he was led out of his flat in handcuffs at about 9 o'clock, yet the police car had been there all day. Was he having a nice cup of tea and a biscuit while they rifled through his belongings? Before it emerged that Phillip Schofield had reached out to Holly, it was reported that the terrifying ordeal has left Holly Willoughby wondering whether to reconsider her life in the spotlight. Sometimes it doesn't seem worth it, does it? A friend told a newspaper. Another said, "It feels like it has been one thing after another for Holly. The Phil stuff really took it out of her. She lost a best friend and had to find out some pretty difficult truths about him and how he has been living his life. Surely it's about time she caught a bit of a break." What was that? Come again. Difficult truths about Phillip Schofield and how he has been living his life, that Holly had to find out. When? Do they mean when the scandal broke of his affair with a young runner, or are they talking about recently? "I knew nothing about anything," is once again what we believe Holly is trying to communicate via friends here. There is also something else that has been bugging us, the young runner, who seems to have disappeared from the face of the earth and doesn't get so much as a mention these days. As we mentioned in our previous video, Phillip has been spotted out and about a number of times in the last few months, each time the paparazzi just so happened to be there at that very moment to capture the scene. The young runner caught up in the scandal has also been spotted on several occasions when someone happened to be there at that time. A YouTuber celebrating a milestone was one of the first to capture a clandestine meeting between him and Schofield. A showreel just so happened to be made and paid for by ITV, which captures him interviewing Schofield. He was brought on stage at the NTAs for everyone to witness. If there is one thing we've discovered about Phillip Schofield after our extensive research, he is absolutely not a stupid man. In fact, he is more intelligent, more powerful even than most give him credit for. In fact, We believe that he is too clever to wander in front of a YouTuber, too clever to appear in a showreel with a younger lover, too clever to ask him on stage for the world to see. Phillip has recently been spotted wearing his wedding ring and putting on a united front with his wife Stephanie Lowe. Did he ever leave her? That is the question that keeps us awake at night. There is something else which caught our attention. When Prime Minister Rishi Sunak appeared by magic on This Morning following the news of the alleged kidnap of Holly Willoughby, in which a US hitman was apparently hired, he decided to mention a Halloween party in America in which he dressed up as Harry Potter. A faux pas or deliberate? We may never find out. Recently, Phillip's old pal Richard Madeley also decided to wade in on the action, saying that he feels very sorry for Schofield and that he had offered his support, saying I kept in touch, told him to take it easy and that it'll be all right. The Good Morning Britain and former This Morning presenter added that Phillip's axe was pretty savage and brutal. Richard said, "We've all been through terrible experiences, and the worst ones are the phones that come out of a clear blue sky and you don't see them coming. Politicians say they are only one debate away from a catastrophe, and it's the same in our industry." Shortly after his words of wisdom, Richard Madeley announced that he'd gone deaf, saying that he feels like he has a cork in his right ear and that there will be a lot of pardon and what? From him between now and Christmas. We digress. After photographs of Phillip Schofield clutching a book entitled In Memoriam by American author Alice Wynne emerged on the very same day Holly Willoughby learned of a suspected kidnap plot allegedly involving a US hitman, it was also reported on that very day that GB News presenter Dan Wootton, well known for his cutting remarks about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, had allegedly quietly reached out to try to establish a rapprochement with Phillip Schofield. The definition of rapprochement, interestingly, is used especially in international affairs and is an establishment or resumption of harmonious relations. It has to be said that there are many secrets that Phillip Schofield could know. He's worked at the BBC from an early age, he's worked for the royal family, interviewed politicians and celebrities, worked with fellow presenters and journalists. Could one or several of these secrets be the cause of his downfall? Is Phillip, who after his departure from This Morning said a handful of people have a grudge against him, now a loose cannon, or could he even be part of something much bigger, a major player in an elaborate master plan to bring down someone or something, and done it even at the cost of his own career and reputation? Possibly. It has to be said that Blinkerhole hasn't gone easy on old Phillip Schofield over the last few months, nor Holly Willoughby for that matter, but it gave us the opportunity to learn, and the more we learned the more we understood. But now, we have a feeling that something is over, a long drawn-out plan that has come to fruition. Will the ITV inquiry at the end of the year be designed to absolve Phillip Schofield and Holly Willoughby of any wrongdoing? Probably. Are we really going to see Phillip Schofield and Holly Willoughby disappear into obscurity, or will we see a double television comeback? We will have to wait and see. Though, ultimately, after the pinnacle, what is there left to do? We don't believe the public has been told the full story. A very small part of it, maybe. A tiny tale in an enormous master plan which gives Holly a way out, albeit with a small amount of credibility intact. All that is left is a way back for Phillip Schofield, which we feel is yet to come. We have often wondered whether the truth of these strange and elaborate mysteries will ever see the light of day. A lot of the time, there are obvious clues and pointers, there for anyone to see, should they only look. The media have been dropping them like flies all over the pages for years. They drop them in big cases, unsolved murders, missing people, suspicious deaths, elaborate crimes, huge unsolved mysteries that Blinkerhole believes they already know the answer to. We noticed that within the reports of the alleged kidnap of Holly Willoughby, a small detail appeared that surprised us. The court reports talked of a detailed plan, and the media reported that the plan was set to be carried out next week. Could something big be going down next week? Will we ever find out about it? Well, that is the million-dollar question. Please like and subscribe for more journeys through the Blinkerhole. For entertainment purposes only. Keep up to date with our latest investigations and hit the join button. If you like what we do, send us a super thanks. Official Blinkerhole merchandise is available in store.